you can get paid $10,000 instantly because it really is just like the frequency that you are operating in. And if you don't believe, once again, this is like the part that I really want to get across. If you don't believe money can come to you easily, it's not going to come to you easily. Right? And this might be like years of reprogramming that you have had where money is hard for you to get. Like some beliefs that I actually wrote down here that I want to share with you that were so conditioned in my head that I had to get rid of was, hey everyone, welcome back to 0 to 10K, the 25-part series on how to attract $10,000 into your life. Now, I am so excited for today's video because we are talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is money. Now, right now, we are on day 9, and we are getting so close to wrapping up the first part of my money system, which is all about mindset. And the reason why we spent so much time on mindset is because in reality, if we don't actually step into the highest version of ourselves, the person who is actually able to attract that cash and money to us, then it doesn't matter how many videos I create on like the tangible how-tos and the steps, it's gonna be really hard for you to attract that cash to you. So we're almost done with part 1 we have today, and then we have one more video tomorrow, and then we're gonna get into part 2. But today's topic is a really good one because the concept of money is something people, for one, like they don't really talk about. Like I was grown in a household and raised in a family where you don't really talk about money. Like the entire concept of money is work really hard and get paid for it. Like that's it. Everything else was like, you know, money is the root cause of evil. Like money doesn't grow on trees. Like all of these concepts and beliefs and constructs that were placed upon me based on how I was raised and of course society. Now for today's video, I want to talk about like what money really is, like the real truth behind money. Now, this conversation might be something that's completely new to you. Maybe you never thought about money in this way, but it is absolutely going to change the way how you attract money into your life. Now, money basically equals energy. Therefore, there actually is no real tangible value to the dollar bill. Like right now, like I have this it's upside down, this $100 bill, right? When we think about money, we think about this, like a physical piece of paper that has value to it. Now, of course, if we see this like on the ground or something, we pick it up because we know this represents $100. Now, of course, we need to know that we're in like the physical 3D world, but in reality, when we think of money and when we think of getting paid for work or for value and exchange, we're actually paying for the value that we are placing on the actual exchange. So for an example, if you walk into a grocery store in the produce section, there's 2 sections. There's one where there's just like, you know, the regular produce. You get apples and you get cucumbers, like lemons, grapes, you can pick it up. And then there's usually a smaller section where it's organic produce. There's like a limited amount of produce and it's basically like double the amount of money than the regular produce. Like if I want to buy apples that are just like the regular apples, maybe it's like $3 a bag. If I go to the organic section, maybe it's like $6 or $7 a bag. Now, of course, both of them are like apples. Honestly, they're basically the same thing, but the reason why the organic ones are priced more is because of perceived value. We believe organic is much more of value than the regular ones. So when I started to understand this concept, I started to apply it to like work and jobs. So of course, when you're working a job, you're working X amount of hours, and based on what you are doing, you are getting paid that much amount of money. So if you're working just like at retail, maybe you're working 40 hours a week, getting paid like $10 or $12 an hour, that's the value that they believe you are worth because you're just there checking people out and folding clothes. Versus a doctor who gets paid hundreds of dollars an hour, and maybe even a surgeon, because the value that they're actually providing is much more than like a retail worker. And of course, people value doctors and surgeons because they believe the value they provide is going to actually save their lives. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go be like a doctor to make a lot of money or a surgeon, but what I am saying is the value that you see in yourself is going to be a direct correlation of the money that you receive to you. The people who actually believe that they can be really good doctors, really good surgeons, really good lawyers and attorneys are the people who actually get paid the most amount of money. And even if you look at creators and artists and designers, like you see a painting in a gallery that gets sold for like $100,000, even though to you, you might think it's just like a piece of art that anybody can do. However, there is somebody out there who is willing to pay the $100,000 because they actually see the value in it, and the artist sees the value within himself to actually even price a painting that is $100,000. So where am I going with all of this? I want to go back to actually day 3. Remember in day 3, we talked about like identifying roadblocks. And I remember one of the roadblocks that I shared with you guys was in the really beginning when I started my business and I wanted to make my own money, I had this belief that I was bad at sales. But of course, going through the exercise that I went through with you guys in day 3 and really identifying the real roadblock, it wasn't necessarily I was bad at sales. It was I didn't see the real worth in myself. Therefore, I didn't think that people actually paid me money. So one of the reasons why I wasn't making $10,000 was because I didn't actually believe I had the value to provide somebody who would transform, their lives or get a certain thing that would actually amount to that money coming in. So when I realized money is basically energy, it's your state of being. It's based on how you see yourself, your value, your worth. It makes sense that somebody who has a high value of themselves, they believe they're worthy of making X amount of money. They know that they can help people, change people, transform people's lives. They will actually get that money versus somebody who thinks that like, oh, I want that money, but I don't actually believe that I am of value. So once I understood that concept, I started to look at myself as somebody who is actually of value based on the thing that I was going to be helping people with. Now, of course, we haven't got into like the strategy piece, like the branding piece. We're gonna get into it in the next day or so. But right now, I really want you to start to think about what are things that I am actually really, really good at, and people come to me asking for help. Like, what are things that just come so natural to me? And I know that that would be of great value to people. And honestly, if we were to go even more in depth, I'm not going to go so detailed in this video because I can talk about money, energy, manifestation, strategy, like for so many hours. But in reality, the fact that you are alive and you're human and you're born, you have the value. And I believe everybody has a unique skill and gift inside of them that is going to equal millions of dollars. So if right now in your head you're like, oh, I really don't know if I have anything of value, you do, right? So it's a matter of really looking at what do you feel like comes really natural to you and start from there. Now, going back to like money and the concept of money, there's also a lot of beliefs that I had growing up where I saw money as something that was really hard to get, right? So remember, the first thing that I said in this video was like a lot of people think money is something that is like tangible. And if you do something for like a certain amount of hours, you get paid that amount of money. When in reality, it's like you can get paid $10,000 instantly because it really is just like the frequency that you are operating in. And if you don't believe, once again, this is like the part that I really want to get across. If you don't believe money can come to you easily, it's not going to come to you easily, right? And this might be like years of reprogramming that you have had where money is hard for you to get. Like some beliefs that I actually wrote down here that I want to share with you that were so conditioned in my head that I had to get rid of was you have to work harder to make more money. You have to figure out how to make more money. You have to have years of experience before you can make more money. You have to reinvent the wheel before you can make more money. When in reality, all of those constructs were just like placed on us, right? But if we actually think about it, like money is everywhere. Like if you look around the room right now, like there's a camera in front of me, there's a light, there's a bookshelf, there's a lamp. I have my laptop right here with notes. Like I am surrounded by money, right? So if every day we're consciously or subconsciously telling ourselves like, oh, we don't have money, money is hard to get, there isn't enough of it, there's a scarcity and lack of it, like we're just not gonna attract it into our life. And once I understood that, once I started to tell myself, when I did my non-negotiables and my morning routine, that like money flows to me easily, I get paid to exist, the more I relax, the more I receive, it actually started to happen. And not because there were cute affirmations and things that I was saying every single day, but I actually started to believe in it, right? When you see people on social media, and even when you see like, once again, like designers selling $100 bags, $1,000 bags, and you can get a similar bag for like $10 at Walmart, like why do you think people are paying that much money? It's not because of the bag itself, it is because of the perceived value, right? So this is the big piece that I really want to get across when it comes to money, is if you don't see the value in yourself, other people will not see the value either. And therefore you will not get and you will not attract that money right now. So I don't want you to think about how I'm going to get that money. I don't want you to think about what am I going to sell to get that money, because we're going to get there in part 2 and part 3. But I really want you to think about, for today's action item and today's video, is like, why is it so easy for me to attract money? Why does money flow to me easily? Like, don't think about how can I make $10,000? Because if you think of it that way, it's going to be hard for you to come up with, because you're thinking of money as something that is hard to get. Like, how can I get money? It's like you're chasing money. You do not chase, you attract. So if you flip the script and the question and you ask yourself, why is it so simple and easy for me to attract money? Then your brain starts to go, oh, because I'm somebody who is already of value. I have these skill sets. It is because I'm posting on social media. It is because like I have worked at this job. Like your mind will start to tell you why. Just like we did the exercise in the last few videos where you brain dumped all of the roadblocks and then you start to ask yourself why this was a roadblock. I want you to do the same thing for today. Ask yourself, why is it so easy for you to make money? Ask yourself, why is it so simple for you to attract $10,000 into your life? And you will be so amazed at all of the amazing answers that you come up with and for yourself. And once you do this, whether you come up with one answer or 50 answers, comment below and share at least one with us. I want you to share at least one with us. Share, it is so easy for me to make money, or why it is so easy for me to make money because X, Y, and Z. Okay, I really want to see, I want to see hundreds of comments of you guys saying, this is why it's so easy for me to make money. Because it comes to me naturally, because the more I relax, the more I receive, because I have years of experience. Like whatever comes up to your mind, write that down in the comments and claim it for yourself. Once again, this entire series, it's all about showing up for yourself, not hiding, right? But really voicing it to the universe and being seen and being visible. So I want to see hundreds of comments of everybody claiming why it is so easy for you to make money. And I can go on and on about money, but this is where I'm going to wrap up today's video. Tomorrow, we are finishing up part 1 of the money system. Day 10 is all about my strategy of how I actually manifest money to me. So it's kind of like a part 2 from today, because today I kind of talked about like what money is, you really understanding money. And then tomorrow I'm gonna more so put it into practice of how to actually use like money and energy as a vibration to attract cash to you. And then of course we're gonna get into part 2, which is all about crafting your brand and really creating that version of yourself online on social media to start to attract that cash to you. And as always, if you need to catch up with the videos, I'm gonna link the playlist right here. Of course, we are on day 9, but if you missed any of the days, go back, rewatch them, and make sure to comment below and let us know as you're doing the homework how everything is working out for you. And that is all for today. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 10, and until next time, make sure that you stay unforgettable.